here. We're here. There's the police right there. Is it the forest? No, it's not the forest. But we can break into emergency braking traffic report here. We're stuck on the Kennedy, going through Chicago, not moving on a Sunday morning, 6:48 in the morning, May 15th, 2016. We're happy to have you on board with us. And that's the traffic report so far here. We're going to find out, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And when I mean that, I mean we're going to sit here and we're going to stop. You're going to find out exactly why we're sitting exactly still on, where the hell am I? On the Kennedy and North Avenue. I think it is. I think it's North Avenue. It says the Old Town right over there. So we are just sitting. It's lovely to have you with us, have you on board. Normally our traffic reports are not this in depth, but you see I'm stuck behind two semis, and I mean so far we don't get it. So I'm going to try and actually get around these semis because it looks like everybody's kind of getting off, and maybe you got off last night, and you know if you did, good for you. I mean, but people are getting off the highway. Next to the truck. It's kind of loud, so I guess we're gonna do that. And let's flip the camera around. So welcome aboard. It's me, Cindy Lou, from all over the road. Let's make sure my hair is looking all pretty for you. It's not for the camera, Cindy. So if you're watching this, this is what the iPhone does to you. This is if you don't know iPhone, iPhone's my best friend. And I talked to my best friend, and that's basically the show right now. And so let's give it up to my good cameraman, my camera friend, iPhone, you're my friend, and I really cherish our time together. So well, anyway, I'm Cindy Lou, and this is all over the road for Sunday, May 15th, 2016. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I think we've already gone over that. I think I had some other things actually planned and prepared, but and I was going to do this a little bit later, but we had to really break in with the traffic report. So it seems to me that we are actually moving along. There's a big giant line of semis here. I think you can kind of see them back behind over my head here. You see there's a trailer, and it's intermodal, and this is just a basic box van. And then we've got a semi which doesn't even have a trailer. So I was just pointing out all the sights to you. It's getting kind of bright. I guess, did we finish the weather report? I don't think we finished the weather report. So it's kind of bright and sunny day. Still a little bit chilly, but still a little early. Temperature's holding at 48 degrees in Chicago this Sunday morning. So, like I said, it takes a while to actually come up with these shows here. Turn off that engine anytime. Turn off the heat. He doesn't seem to understand. We're trying to have a conversation in here. We're trying to put on the show, and his big diesel engine is just cranking away, going for a long time. And I mean, the rudeness of this guy in this giant truck, to think that you can just let his engine idle. And I mean, doesn't he know how much pollutants he's putting up in the atmosphere? And I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably does, and I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't care. I see sirens though, or not sirens. What do you call those? Lights. Yeah, I see the lights. There's a police car up ahead. Oh shit, it's the cops. Don't tell Mario that. Well, I mean, he should arrest that guy, because some guy just he's cruising down. We're going down the shoulder. So, oh yeah, you see the police, and now we can't go. You don't want to drive down the shoulder, huh? So now you know the laws of the road, the rules of the road. So, yeah, I'm gonna be late for this whole thing. So, but really, the mission of the day here is we're not really trying to. I'm not just sitting here on the Kennedy for no reason, and we're not going to Sunday school. I think they do have a chapel at the airport. something, but we're not going to go there. So not at least at the chapel. We're trying to go to O'Hare International Airport this morning, pick up something and drop it off someplace else. And it's some sort of communications equipment. But like I told them the other night, I got this covered. Trust me, do. I mean, obviously, you can see we got this covered. We've got green lights all the way here on the video, the camera. We broadcast this live through Wirecast up to YouTube, and so you are probably watching the playback. You might be watching this live. If this is live, you can send me a text message. I will be able to get that, but probably not a whole lot of it. So, and I do take questions. I took a question last night. I think maybe that was partially what I wanted to talk about. The letter came in and it said, "Dear Cindy, you seem to be smoking a lot on camera, and is this typical of you in real life?" And the answer is, yeah, for the most part, it is. But that really wasn't the question. Nobody actually ever asks me. They don't bother with me about my smoking. So I need these things. I need them to live. I need a constant supply of nicotine and wonderful things to enhance my life. And we're here to help enhance your life. So, but I was messing around last night, and I think the topics that we're going to start talking about here is we're going to really exploit the whole dating issue, because there's just a lot to say in that about that. I don't think there's a whole lot of information out there, and I think that we really need to find out about really what makes the trans folk tick in that department. And I will never claim that I speak for any other trans person than myself. Okay, so it is a curse, and they have a big problem. We have a very big problem, especially online. It seems like, and that's probably the community, the online community is what they call it. And there's usually this genuinely big problem about people claiming to speak for each other and stuff like that, because we're not really this large. We're not an organized group in any way, and I don't think that'll ever be possible, because I've met other trans people, and quite frankly, it's just as soon not really. It's not like I have a whole bunch of trans friends. I don't. Most of my friends seem to be just regular people. They don't seem to understand exactly what goes on in my world, and probably the world of some of us transgender folks. But they don't seem to understand. I wonder if, he's just sitting there. That's got to be the easiest job in the world, working for the Illinois State Police like that. He's just sitting there, blocking traffic. We don't know what's happening, what's going on. We're still stuck in traffic. We did get here on the thing. So, anyway, what was I saying? I was saying about trans folks and whatnot. So, I was playing around on the dating site, because we are looking for somebody, and that's kind of and it's not just a talent search. We do need some new talent here. I'd like to get a weather girl in Minivan 1 here, so I don't have to always do the weather reports, because I think that's kind of a full-time job. Is doing the traffic and weather. Other news stations have weather people. I think I need one too. Probably not looking for a sports reporter. Don't care. So you're probably not going to get any sporting nudes. Sporting news. Sporting nudes. Yeah, just slip of the tongue. Just now we can go off the sporting nudes. Hopefully you're not going to see that here. I won't be sporting the nude look for you anytime soon. We've got our work uniform squarely on, and that's really by choice. I think black shirt, blue jeans. It's just you can't go wrong with it, and just wear it every day. And I mean, I never change my clothes, so I mean, yeah, it's like I was only able to afford one shirt, and so I wear it every day, and I mean, and life is difficult. I mean, especially when you're trans and you can't, people aren't just going out there and giving trans people jobs. So that's kind of an issue that there is there in the community, in the trans community. There's not enough jobs. So, and without jobs, there's no money. And so, I mean, you shouldn't make fun of somebody if they can only afford one shirt. God, I'm just losing it here, aren't I? I mean, the time is just ticking. It's ticking away. I need to go to O'Hare and pick up something, and I was supposed to be there by 7 o'clock. And they're going to start calling because it's now 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, and they're going to be saying, do you have the package on board yet? And I'm going to be saying, no, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm like, what traffic? And I'm like, it surprised me too. So, here we are. But yes, going back to the whole dating thing. So I'm messing around on the whole dating website. And of course, it is a fruitless experience. I try and, I have to make my disclosure, and I try and tell you what I'm looking for. And, most people, especially men, they don't read. But I got a question from some guy last night, late last night. And obviously he didn't read my my preferences or what I was looking for, because if he did, he probably wouldn't have even written to me. But basically, he had it wasn't just the hey, what's up, or hey, you're hot, because, and I do appreciate those, but those just go in the garbage. And I think a lot of the women can agree with me that you just get you get high in your inbox on the dating website. It's like, throw that shit out. I mean, just throw it out. I don't it's not exciting, so it's not a good thing. But so this gentleman, and we'll call him Brad. I don't know. I mean, I actually didn't even ask his name because I just don't care. But he sent me this question last night, and he just says, "Hey, there's a oddball question for you." And he's like, "Say I was really drunk and I hooked up with another guy. Does that make me bisexual?" It's like, well, I don't get questions like that. I'm like, that's actually a good question. I'm like, I'm going to put this on the show. So, I mean, but the fact that somebody would ask, ask me to, we're doing a little nail file action here right now, too. But somebody would ask me that question to say, I mean, does that make me bisexual if I'm a guy? So Brad was apparently out last night. We're just going to call him Brad. I don't know his name. It probably was Brad, but, he looked like a Brad. So, you ever see somebody and you're just like, you look like a Brad. And I bet you he probably is. So, because Brads have a specific look. Just like Todd's have a specific look. Or, But anyway, so, I was kind of impressed by this. And I was like, well, I'm going to answer this on the podcast show. I mean, because I think this is where we really need to go, and that's and granted, the question did come in on a dating site. And I don't think he really counted on that, but maybe he did. Maybe he's watching the show. So, so that was a good question, and I was like, well, thank you for allowing me to understand this, So, I mean, basically, I had written back to him and said, my basic answer to you is no. It doesn't make you bisexual, because I don't think that, like a one-time, and I wrote this in kind of a more succinct, more truncated answer, but I mean, the basic gist of it, again, I should have, copied it down and made notes, but we don't do that around here at All Over the Road, so we have to do this from memory. And I was like, well, if it was just a one-time thing, and if you're really, really drunk, I'm like, yeah, we could let it slide. It's like, that doesn't just make you bisexual. I think there's a problem with the, people, the whole bisexual community is not, they're not even understand by the lay or the gay and lesbian community, and really the whole of the LGBT seems it seems to be kind of disconnected. I mean, obviously the lesbians are, they're all off to one side, and they're doing their thing, because they have their preferences, and the gays, the men, the gay men, they're on the other side, and they're doing their thing because they've got their little cabal. They're just having a ball. I think they all are having a ball. That's part of being gay. But so anyway, so Brad's writing me this thing because maybe he might think I might know. Because I did say if I did say on my profile, it's like you should message me if you want to talk to a real live transsexual. So so I guess I am kind of advertising on the dating profile, although they don't know it is Cindy Lou of the All Over the Road, Cindy Lou, stationed out of Willowbrook. But well, they didn't know that. So eventually, I think everybody's going to find out who I am, and then then it's all over. But then maybe we'll get better questions, and we'll have better prep time, and we could talk out these issues before. So I guess the question really that obviously that he had posed to me is like, so I got drunk and I hooked up with one of my friends. Who's your guy? And I'm like, well, that's a wonderful question. Thank you for making my night. Now, granted, I'm doing this at 1:00 in the morning. I'm typing away on my best friend. Who's my best friend? iPhone. You're my best friend. So I'm writing this guy back, and we're calling him Brad, and yeah, we could we'll let it slide. I'm not gonna say that just because you hooked up with your friend, you're not bisexual. Okay, that probably really really drunk, and that's and that's okay if it's a one-time thing. That's okay, but you do it again, I'm like, well, then you're a fag. Like that's just plain and simple. So it's just I think maybe that's kind of one of those things. If I think we're going to learn something here. That is really the goal at All Over the Road, is to take that point and expand on it, and then bring it back to the singular thought, and as we try and create the new social contract here. So I think that was good advice. So I basically told this young man, I told him that it's okay if you hooked up with your friend, your guy friend, because you were really drunk, and it's one time thing, but don't let it happen again, because it's like, if it happens more than once, I'm like, you're not bi, you're gay. That's just I think that should be probably part of the law right there. I think the unwritten social contract that we all have on sex and sexuality. Yeah, you get one pass. You get one same-sex experience. You get a jail. You get a get out of jail free card. It's like you can have like one experience with the same sex, or the same gender, with same sex technically, the same sex. If you're a guy, one time, okay. One time. There's, and you don't ever have to talk about it. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of crying involved, and there's going to be a lot of strange vibes between you and your buddy after something like that happens. It's never happened to me, by the way. I never hooked up with one of my guy friends back when I was, presenting that way. So it just wasn't, that's not one of my things. So I guess I could, if I really wanted to. I could, but I'm not. So because I knew that maybe he was trying to pick me up, and basically I think we get these questions sometimes because there's the assumption that I probably have a penis in between my legs. Probably. I think some of us may not understand that point, but I think a lot of us kind of do, And sometimes they just let it slide because, obviously I'm looking a certain way and doing that and that. But I think there is that general presumption, and I think we know this. If you don't know this, you're going to learn something else here. That really gender is the thing. That you size up when you're meeting anybody else in life. That's the one thing you're going to size up first. I mean, you're gonna say, is that a man or a woman? And then if it's me, I mean, I might get a little confused. That glitch might not take a third of a second. It might take half a second. And I guess that half second's enough for your brain to go almost explode. I think some people it does kind of explode. They're just not used to it. They live in their own private bubbles, and I'm like, listen, I mean, I'm happy for you in your private bubble. I like to be in my private bubble, which seems to be apparently minivan one. So we need traffic or weather report. So traffic and weather report on the 9s today. Traffic's still just creeping along here on the Kennedy, going out to O'Hare. We're not moving, and weather's at 49 degrees, clear skies. So back to the topic. So yeah, I think there's we get that. I think that's something that we all need to write in here. That with this young man's question, does that make me bisexual? Well, no, it doesn't really make you bisexual. I mean, I think if you're bisexual, it means you're gonna like to, you bisexual. I believe what I've read seems to be that I'm comfortable having a relationship with either or. And I think a lot of the bisexual people out there would probably agree with me. Maybe we should get one in here on the show. We should go get one. Let's go get a bisexual in here, and maybe they can really break down the whole bisexual topic. But I'm gonna try and answer the question myself, because we don't have a bisexual person around, and I'm not really a bisexual person, but it seems to be that I get a lot of questions like this because, obviously of the whole gender confusion thing, that you all seem to be concerned about. I mean, because I certainly don't. I've been over this issue, and we put that past us. So, but I think as a public service, I can be out here talking about it and raising awareness of how maybe some trans people date, or the fact that there actually are trans people and we're not that much different than some of you, and we're not just all crazy, we're not, and some of us look better than others, and you should really you should accept people based on how they treat you, and if they're nice people, stuff like that. I mean, you shouldn't really, looks shouldn't really make a big difference out of it, as far as just treating your general fellow man and your men and women. Just be a good person, But I mean, I guess in a romantic context, though, that then really all bets are off. I mean, that then you can have your preferences, and I'm going to tell you all right now. I think it's okay, because I go through a lot of these questions pop up, and you have to come up with answers for them. So, but let's go back to Brad's question. I mean, if he hooked up with his buddy and they were really, really drunk, and it was just a one-time thing, I want to say not bisexual. I mean, yes, gay act, but not bisexual. I mean, because I don't think that they really want to have a relationship with each other, and probably won't happen again. But maybe he's a little lonely, and he might be out next weekend with the same guy and doing the same thing, because a lot of people do the same things over and over again. So I did give him the warning, though, and I was like, you get one get out of jail free card. If it happens again, I'm like, you're gay, dude. I'm like, you're gay. It's like, and of course, for comedic purposes, I had to call him a fag, because I think that's a good way of doing it. I think that's part of the persona, because you can hide behind a keyboard Like, I'll probably never see this guy. So you can call him a fag all you want to. And, I think guys really appreciate, being called faggot, towards each other. I mean, it's like, especially if you know them. I mean, those can be fighting words, but they're also, and I don't think the F word, the other F word, is really all that bad, especially when, as long as it's not said maliciously, because you've seen the people outside the gay bar, and you probably heard people say, "Hey, faggot," and it's like, absolutely, or I mean, they'll play around with that, and it's one of those words. It's like a different word that a different group of people seem to call each other, but you can't use it. But I think that we can, in the effort to destroy this whole political correctness thing, we can bring back the other F word, and if you know a guy and he's or not gonna, as long as you're not trying to fight him or something like that, you can call him a fag and jest. I mean, you can do that. You can say, if it's your buddy, I mean, it's like fag. It's like, I mean, I don't think there's a problem with this. But anyway, I told the young man on the computer, basically, I'm like, okay, one get out of jail card. Other than that, it's like, you need to go out and find yourself a girl right now. And I was like, I suggest you now. I mean, this was 2:00 in the morning. And I don't know where he would have found a girl. I think he was kind of thinking he was finding a girl on the computer, of course, which I am, but then not. So I had to defer, to my common excuse that it's like, listen, I'm not here for guys. So because he's like, ooh, thanks for the answer. It's like, hey, you're kind of cute, and I'm like, yeah, well, thanks, I'm a lesbian. So I mean, and that really, I think, pretty much shuts everybody down. So, because they don't seem to understand that concept that, I'm kind of part of the lesbian community, even though maybe the parts may or may not match up down there. It's by virtue of the fact of how we live on a day-to-day basis, how we dress. It's not really, but I don't really have a whole lot of luck with the lesbians because they're usually looking for like the same equipment that they have. They want to explore that lovely apparatus there. That the lesbians have, and in all its glory, and the sights and smells of the lotus flower, let's call it, the lily patch, or So, but I mean, that's what I'm, so I actually was, I mean, because I was never part of the gay community before, and maybe that's why I'm not about to start now. So, but I told this gentleman, after his writing question, and I said, you really need to, go out and find yourself a girl right now, and not me, because I'm a lesbian, I won't do it. And I said, because any girl will do, because I'm like, just find a real fat one, I'm like anyone will do, I mean, seriously. So, and I think that was partly, maybe that's the segue into the next show about dating and body image and whatnot. And I can't believe we're up. I think our time is up here. So we're gonna have to save that one for the next show. So I think that was a pretty decent discussion about the thing. I think to sum it up, if you're a man and you get really drunk and you hook up with your buddy, it doesn't make you bisexual. I think that sums up the whole show, and we've got to cut this off, folks, because we are right at the my producers are telling me we got to go. So we're going to come back next time around. We'll see you next time around on All Over the Road with Cindy Lou. So thank you for watching. We appreciate your support of our fine product here. This fine product. So this is All Over the Road. I'm Cindy Lou. Thank you very much.